from defenders. He's not just a guy that's going there and run with his head down, and then they can put him in the pass game.
Right.
Cincinnati, they overplay the outside. He turns back. Middle's wide open. As much as Kansas City can, feed Pacheco today.
Yes, feed Pacheco. They're going to get some man-to-man opportunities. Miami's had issues in man-to-man. They can cover pretty well, but they mess up sometimes on who to pass off to who. Do I stay on my guy? We've seen that a few times over the last month, and I think Kansas City will certainly try them in that department here early on.
We watched against Baltimore with some of the motions and stuff. They just drop guys. So
drop guys. People
can't do that in the playoffs.
No, you can't do that against Patrick Mahomes. He'll find that open guy.
Have a little bit of a fog problem early in the game for him. How about Travis Kelce? Because another guy that you would think of in this kind of game, possession receiver, Patrick Mahomes dancing around could have a huge one.
Yeah, well, he's always Mahomes' best buddy, right? Yeah. We know that. And then Mahomes, as much as he likes to buy time, hang in the pocket, Kelce is the master of let me find the soft spot to help my quarterback out when he's scrambling around, scramble drill, and that's where he becomes tough to defend. He's tough enough to defend on the normal aspect of the play. It's the extra seconds Mahomes buys, and then what happens with Kelce after that.
And then remember, as you get older as a player, it's hard week in and week out to show up. Kelce had last week off, so now he comes into this game kind of coming off a bye week for him.
Right.
So he should be fresh, he should be ready to go, and now it sets up, hey, let's just go make our playoff run. Travis, we need you to play in these next few games, then hopefully we get to where we want. We'll get another bye week, and we'll get to play to try to be back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, and I think the other thing there, look at, first off, I've never
give you
seen
some
this
juice.
coat. When you're Travis, I guess when you're Travis Kelce and you date Taylor Swift, she can call Nike and just go, make me a jacket that says 87 on it.
It's good
That's
branding.
pretty impressive.
Look, you just said Nike. We see the check. That's
we sold
awesome
it.
by Nike.
Yeah.
Good
Send
job.
me the check, please. Okay.
I hope he does get that.
Don't expect, right, to our viewers out there to turn on the Kansas City Chiefs and see the Chiefs offense we saw the last 5-6 years, right? This has been an ugly offense. They need to embrace the ugliness is kind of what we've been saying over the last month. Run the ball, right? Be a little more conservative. We know they've had drop issues and people getting open issues down the football field. So I think they got to, I'm interested to see if they can kind of play that style of football tonight here throughout the playoffs.
I love when the quarterbacks basically say rely on your defense. I love when they do that.
You love to hear it, right?
Yeah,
music to your ears.
My ego's not too big. I know when the defense has got to come in.
Over on the other side of the ball here, you got the Miami Dolphins. And it seems like for them, they're a speed team. It doesn't seem like they're built for the physical ice bowl, go through your running attack. But they are a pretty good running team, Devin.
Yeah, and they've done that all season. We've turned on the games and watched and say, man, they're running the ball really well. Just talked about it. Last week against Buffalo, HN only 2 carries in the second half. Just keep running the ball. But I think it's hard to do that, especially, you know, we talked about this before. When they say the 2 high safeties, they run the pitch play, HN gets it. There's a lot of space. When there's no extra safety in the box, you have space to get to the second level, and Miami feels really comfortable running the ball. But now you got to throw it sometimes against 2 high, too.
You do, and that's where we're going to see if Tua can throw it through the elements. But as we talked about earlier on today, right, 2 deep, Dolphins have an issue throwing the football. 1 deep, they can throw the ball, but they can't run it. And you'll see here, again, it's the extra guy in the box, just like Devin talked about. And they're not quite physical enough, have enough road graders up front to where they can just run on any look quite yet. But here we go. Single safety. Now there's all this room. You want to bump and run, Tyreek Hill, some of these fast wide receivers. This is where they can make you pay. And again, we talk about, hey, this isn't the environment or conducive to Miami. 1 missed Tyreek Hill jam off the line of scrimmage, and it's off to the races, and this could be, you know, very interesting and tough for Kansas City.
And we talked about it before. When you play that game and Kansas City won, they're going to go back to naturally doing some of those things that work. So they talked about getting in Tyreek Hill's face, getting in Waddle's face, being aggressive. Miami now has to say, after we watch that film, we have to take advantage. If they decide to come out and do this and play us man-to-man, we got to be able to get by them, get the ball down the field, and create big plays.
How much can they disguise, Devin, to where the Dolphins may not know, even if they do the dummy snap and some stuff like that?
I think we'll see a good amount of that. If you turn on the Cincinnati game with Kansas City, they disguise some of those cover 2 looks, play some man, blitzed a little bit out of the cover 2s with Reed. They do different things, and I think that's where Spagnuolo comes in and why he's such a good coordinator. He knows how to pair defenses together, different looks. You might think it's this, and then it goes to something new, and it confuses you. So Tua has to be really smart today.
No question. Spags. He'll take some tactical gambles on the defensive side of the ball every now and then. I think he knows you got to do that with this great offense that he's facing there. And the first time around, there was two things that really jumped out to me that they took away from the Miami offense. The screens, all the wide receiver screens. Get the ball to Tyreek, get the ball to Waddle. They run up the field and get 15 or 20 yards. They didn't let that happen, and they were very good against the toss out on the edge, Raheem Mostert. They did not let that ever get going. I would think Miami is going to want to have some sort of element like that in their offense tonight that they can lean on.
And I asked you this before, too, with Tua, it's a quick release, gets the ball out real quick. Is that harder when it's -20 or feels like it at least?
At least getting that initial grip could be harder, but they're so good at that stuff. I don't think they're going to have a problem. We heard the guys already. It's not as bad as I think we thought it might be, so maybe they'll be able to throw the ball more effectively.
All right, another reminder for you, this game streaming exclusively on Peacock. You will not see it on NBC. You will see the rest of the playoff schedule right now. We got Dolphins and Chiefs. That finishes up tonight. We got 2 games tomorrow. You got the Packers and Cowboys, followed by the Rams and the Lions, the Matt Stafford Bowl, or the Jared Goff Bowl.
Right. Or the Ahmed Fareed, I'm a fan of the Lions Bowl.
I'm an objective journalist. It's on NBC coming up tomorrow. Steelers and Bills, that was postponed from Sunday. They're going to play that one Monday now because of all the snow they've gotten there and the weather. And then you got Eagles and Bucks finishing up in the wild card round. You don't believe me that there was snow?
Oh, my gosh.
We got visual evidence to just show you. So this is a tweet from the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it looks like they're in Lake Erie right now, to be honest with you.
It does. I mean, that looks like the North Pole. If you told me that's the North Pole and we're going to play there tomorrow, I'd be, okay, well, we can't play.
You expect to see elves in Santa working?
Exactly.
I think that's the tarp moving.
I think it is.
Like water, but we cannot be sure here.
I don't want to be there. That's one thing I do know.
All right, we're getting ready for our game in KC. There it is, the high-up shots. I called it the visually appealing playoff game. You can only see it on Peacock, $5.99. Great deal. I'm biased, but I think it's a great deal on streaming.
She is here, and one of the real stories as well. Tyreek Hill is making his return here. They were able to slow him down when they met earlier this season. So what did they do in that game that worked?
Well, they got physical, number one, Rodney. And Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, he knows Tyreek's going to be hyped up. They're going to want to get the ball to him. They've got to not let Tyreek Hill beat them.
These guys know Tyreek Hill. They want to send him a message. And one of the things that you have to do when you're playing against Tua, take away his first read, force him to hold the ball, and force him to go somewhere else.
All right, let's pick this game. I'm going with Kansas City. Even though they've looked beatable all year, I think Andy Reid comes up with a careful game plan with just enough gambles to win. I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah, Kansas City has not been dominant at home like we're used to seeing, but I think they'll play well enough, make enough plays to win the game tonight.
I like Kansas City, too, just the experience. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and I think Andy will commit to running the football. I think Chris Jones is going to have a big night.
One of the greatest weekends of the year. Every year it continues.
Look at you smiling with all that cold
in the studio. Let's go, Ahmed.
Is that fire? Is the fire working? Great day for that. KC getting introduced.
It's that defense right there, man.
The defense.
They know who got him here. It's the defense this year. It wasn't Mahomes in the offense.
So the big question coming into this one for any team that plays the Miami Dolphins is how do you stop that guy who had a franchise record 1,799 yards this year, Tyreek Hill? Did a pretty good job in Week 9 when they played earlier this year, but what's the strategy, Devin, against a guy that's that speedy?
What I love about this matchup is these guys played against Tyreek Hill every day in practice, so they have no problem saying, we're going to get in his face, we're going to surround him, we're going to put guys right next to him, on him, hit him. Right here, you can see they see the screens coming. Reed comes from 15 yards deep, attacks, and then right here, McDuffie, right in his face, catches the ball on him, then takes the ball from him. This Chiefs, there's no fear. They're not going to back down. They're going to be in his face and make it tough all night.
Yeah, they do a good job of mixing up coverages, mixing up looks for him, but they know where he is all the time. They know he's the prime candidate for Tua, the offense, and look at him. He's out there with no sleeves on. But I just read those lips. He said, it's cold out here. Yes, it is cold out there.
He just told him right there, hey, give me a jacket.
Give me a jacket. I need to stay warm.
I need this jacket. It's
right,
cold
no
out
sleeves.
here.
I got no sleeves. I need a jacket.
Yeah. They got some corners. L'Jarius Sneed, we both think is an all-pro guy. He is capable of being on the island from time to time against Tyreek Hill. They played a good amount of two-man the first time around, too, where it's, yes, this man on Tyreek Hill, but the safeties are back. That allows them to be aggressive at the line of scrimmage, takes away a lot of the underneath throws. I think we're going to continue to see that again tonight. Yeah. I think the Kansas City defense is going to go, I don't believe you're going to run the ball all game. I don't believe it. So they're going to continue to try to stop Tyreek and Waddle in the pass game.
And what the Chiefs have that other teams don't have, they have a guy like L'Jarius Sneed, you said, played at an all-pro level.
Right.
Then you have an all-pro guy in McDuffie in the slot.
Right.
So no matter where they move Tyreek Hill, inside or outside, Kansas City can say we feel confident with either one of these matchups that we can go win and play good.
It was just last year where we were in the Super Bowl saying that Patrick Mahomes did not need Tyreek Hill. They could win without him. This year there have been times where we said they need a guy like Tyreek Hill. Issues with drops have been written about a lot. What do you make about the way that Kansas City is going to have to play Patrick Mahomes? Will he have to trust these wide receivers in this game?
Well, he's got to trust them. I don't think that's going to stop him. I don't. I just hope they understand, Andy Reid, everybody, who they are, right? I don't expect them to all of a sudden become the 2019 Chiefs again, and he's thrown for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards. That's not what they've been all year. I think they almost got to manage the game, run the ball a little bit, some wide receiver screens, and play action pass with Mahomes and take a shot down the field every now and then.
I agree, and Miami's defense needs to put some pressure on this Chiefs offense. Try to go make plays and make it hard.
I'm taking Chiefs 7-3, low-scoring game. Devin,
I am going with the Chiefs as well. I'm going Chiefs, so I'm going 20-13. I think they get the win.
I'm going Chiefs, too. They're at home, this weather. The Dolphins haven't looked good in ugly football games all year. Chiefs 24-20.
And you only can see it exclusively on Peacock. You will not see it on NBC. We are just moments away from kickoff in KC. Mike Tirico, Jason Garrett, and Kaylee Hartung have the call.
Tyreek Hill gets his touches, but they need to lean on this running game a little bit for a couple reasons. The weather, but also take some pressure off their defense. They're decimated. So if they can run the ball successfully, they're going to help their defense by keeping Patrick Mahomes and company on the sidelines. That's going to help them win the game.
Well, the story, of course, is the weather, and in the middle of it all, Kaylee Hartung. Kaylee.
Well, Mike, as you look at the field from above, you'll see patches of ice, but the condition appears worse than it actually is. During pregame warmups, players on both teams told me they could get traction, they could make cuts, and both kickers said they weren't having any trouble with their footing, at least not yet. That's because there's an underground heating system here. 3 massive boilers are pumping heat into thousands of feet of piping, acting like a radiator to warm the grass and roots. That prevents the field from freezing solid, but one area of potential concern is the back line of the right end zone. It is iced over, even blurring visually what's out of bounds. And as for the players, each of them has their own way of managing the cold. Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert is wearing a sleeveless sweatsuit underneath his uniform, and his teammate, the former Chief Tyreek Hill, he's going bare-armed because he said he didn't want anybody to think he was soft. So the sidelines will be their refuge. You have got 6 of these heated benches and 8 of the gas-powered heaters blowing on both sides, creating an entirely different climate. It is a balmy 40 degrees between the 30-yard markers, guys.
Hang there as much as you can, Kaylee. Thank you. Andy Reid, 19th playoff trip in 25 years as a head coach. Mike McDaniel, 2 for 2, taking the Dolphins to the playoffs as a wild card both years. All right, for those of you watching on Peacock or on our NBC stations in Miami and Kansas City, Kickoff is coming up. And for the rest of you, we send it back to the studio to Ahmed, Chris, and Devin. Let's do this. We welcome you to Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. 4 below the air temperature, 27 below the wind chill. Tom Bahali bangs the drum. And the Chiefs fans braving it. It is not completely full here, but those who are here are being heard. Miami won the toss, deferred the option to the second half. So the Dolphins will kick it off. Jason Sanders kicks to Richie James. Welcome to a little bit of history as the Dolphins and Chiefs start the playoffs towards the sideline here, fielded on the bounce for Kansas City, and moving up the sidelines, Justin Watson. He's out of bounds at the 31. That's where the Kansas City offense will take over.
Patrick Mahomes II, Texas Tech.
Isaiah Pacheco, Rutgers.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Lakewood Junior Spartans.
Rashee Rice, SMU.
Richie James, MTSU.
Travis Kelce, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Donovan Smith, Penn State.
Joe Tooney, North Carolina State.
Creed Humphrey, Oklahoma.
Trey Smith, Tennessee.
Jawan Taylor, Florida.
21 points a game for this Chiefs offense, 7 below their average from last season. It was Leo Chanel, the linebacker, who fielded the kick. Mahomes throws off the hands of Kelce and incomplete to start, trying to get Travis going early. For Patrick Mahomes, lowest career stats of his 6 years as a starter. But that was the regular season. We now hit the Mahomes season, where he has been brilliant. And here at Arrowhead, where he has won 9 playoff games. Of course, the record in the postseason's even better if you include the Super Bowls. He's 11-3 overall. 2nd and 10. Get it out quick and incomplete to Rashee Rice and Jason right away. We're seeing the precision of offense is being thrown off by the wind and the temperature.
Yeah, interesting approach by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Right at the outset, they come out throwing the ball. They missed the throw to Kelce on the first one. They come back. Patrick is behind on the outcut here, so we're seeing the effects of the weather in the field early on in this ball game.
Watching Patton go during warm-ups, you could see balls fluttering on quarterbacks. 3rd and 10 for Mahomes. Throws it in the middle and complete. Body caught by Kelce for the first down to get Travis going tonight.
Travis Kelce has had a so-so year for him, but this is his time too. Mahomes and Kelce in the playoffs are hard to beat. Excellent balance on the top. It's just an option route. He and Patrick on the same page. The ball's halfway there when he turns, puts it between the 8 and the 7, and the Chiefs are moving.
Only Jerry Rice has more catches in the history of the NFL playoffs. Kelce second. From the 42, first run, Pacheco. Always a hard runner, keeps it going close to the 46-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Wilkins on the tackle. Second year in the league out of Rutgers. What an impact player he's been.
Yeah, and just the way he runs. It's all knees and elbows coming at you. And he's a hard guy to tackle any day. But when it's -4 and you're coming from South Florida, we're going to find out a lot about this Dolphins defense and their willingness to tackle that guy.
Second and 6. It'll be the inside give and an opening for Pacheco into the secondary and a first down at the 44. Took Deshaun Elliott, the safety, for a ride. It's a gain of 10.
Yeah, there's one thing we know about Isaiah Pacheco. This guy runs angry. They say it's like he's angry at the ground. They pull the guard, they pull the backside tight end, but he's going north and south. And again, here's Deshaun Elliott coming from the secondary. Brandon Jones, Pacheco going north and south and falling forward.
For the 44, Mahomes to Kelce, hands catch, and Kelce. Duke Riley takes him down along with Elliott. It's a gain of 8 for Travis.
Mike, I absolutely love the approach by Andy Reid. They showed at the outset, we're not afraid of these conditions. We're going to throw the ball. A couple incompletions. They convert the third down, and then they come back and they hammer Isaiah Pacheco, and then the quick screen off of that, and now they're back into their rhythm.
Yep, Duke Riley is coming. Pacheco's going. First down into the secondary. Isaiah Pacheco all the way to the 13-yard line. Gain of 23. Chiefs in the red zone.
How good is Patrick Mahomes at the line of scrimmage saying, hey, 45 is coming. Duke Riley hits it. This Kansas City offensive line all over the pressure. Joe Thuney knocks him out of the hole, and there's Isaiah Pacheco. He is completely unfazed by this footing. He looks like he's in great balance. He's a short strider. And again, he's going north and south.
He's got it again for the 13 on the shotgun handoff. Just a yard, maybe 2. Down to the 11. David Long Jr., the tackle. Riley is still down on the ground and slow to get up. And Miami, already without 6 starters, has Riley starting because of the injury to Jerome Baker. And Riley is feeling the effects of it right now.
He sure is. They have been decimated by injuries, and they need Duke Riley to hang in there and keep playing in this ball game. He's seen too much Isaiah Pacheco early on.
From the 11, Mahomes cutting across. Rice brings it in to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. What an opening drive.
Mike, when you pull back and watch this Kansas City Chiefs offense, it's about number 15, it's about number 87 and number 10, and this guy right here, Rashee Rice, the rookie out of SMU, he's been the most reliable outside receiver for them, and he shows it right there. He just running a drag route across the field. Miami screws up the coverage. Mahomes is on time. Rashee Rice catches it and finishes it. What a drive for the Chiefs.
Operation clean in these cold conditions.